In today's world, for one reason or other, plant foods rich in complex carbohydrates and dietary fiber are better choice than animal foods or foods rich in simple sugar, that is concentrated sweets. In general, less energy resources are required to grow and process plant foods than to produce sugar or foods derived from animal origin. People who make environmentally friendly food choice help to preserve the earth's ability to produce enough food to feed its many people for their better health and well-being. It is clearly suggested that a diet rich in complex carbohydrates in the form of starch and fiber supports and controls body weight and prevent many degenerative diseases like cardiovascular disease, cancer and so on. For this reason, it is recommended that people can eat plenty of whole grains including cereals, millets, legumes, peas, beans, vegetables, green leafy vegetables and citrus fruits, which provide energy and promotes the health and prevent disease condition. After going through this module, the students are able to know the health benefits of dietary fiber and study the disease condition associated with low fiber diet. Apart from that one, they are also able to understand the physiological mechanisms involved in preventing disease condition and to know the limitation of excessive consumption of dietary fiber. Now we are going to see about health benefits of dietary fiber. Carbohydrates and fats are the two major sources of energy in the diet. When one is high, the other is usually low or vice versa. To lower fat intake and to improve the balance between these two energy nutrients, people need to replace fatty foods with whole grains, vegetables, legumes, fruits, foods noted for their starch, fiber and naturally occurring sugar. In addition to starch, fiber and naturally occurring sugar, the whole grains, vegetables, legumes, fruits supply valuable vitamins and minerals and little or no fatty substance. This module helps to describe some of the health benefits of diets that has variety of foods rich in complex carbohydrates including dietary fiber. Now we will see the conditions associated with a low fiber diet. Number 1, in weight management. Foods rich in complex carbohydrate, that is fiber rich foods, tend to reduce the fat and simple sugar content and therefore help to promote weight loss by reducing the energy content, providing a feeling of fullness in the stomach and delaying hunger feeling. As we know, high fiber diet may also protect against obesity by virtue of its low glycemic effect. Many weight loss products available in the market today contain bulk inducing fiber such as methyl cellulose, but buying pure fiber compounds like this is neither necessary nor advisable. To use fiber in weight loss diet, select fresh fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole cereals and millets. High fiber foods not only add bulk to the diet but are economical and nutritious. In weight control, that is in weight management, fiber acts as a physiological obstacle to energy intake at least through 3 mechanisms. Number 1, fiber displays the available energy and nutrients from the diet. Second one, fiber increases stowing, which limits the intake by promoting the secretion of saliva and gastric juice, resulting in an expansion of stomach and increased satiety and reduction in rate of ingestion. The third one, fiber reduced the absorption efficiency of small intestine. The second one, cardiovascular disease. High complex carbohydrate rich diet like whole grains protect against heart disease and stroke. Although pointing out the exact reason may be difficult, but diets are low in animal fats and cholesterol and high in soluble fibers, vegetable protein and phytochemicals, and are associated with a lower risk of heart disease. Food rich in soluble fibers such as oats bran, barley and legumes lower blood cholesterol by binding with bile acid, thus increasing their excretion. In addition, the bacterial byproducts of fiber digestion in colon also inhibits cholesterol synthesis in the liver. The net result is there is a reduction in blood cholesterol. Several studies indicated that fiber also exerts its effect by replacing fat in the diet. Even when dietary fiber is low, however, high intake of soluble fiber exerts a separate and significant cholesterol lowering effect. In other words, high fiber diet helps to prevent heart disease independent of fat intake. High fiber in the diet reduces blood cholesterol content. Pectin present in apple, guava lowers the level of serum cholesterol and enhance excretion of fecal content or fecal steroids. It has no effect on serum triglycerides and HDL cholesterol. Gargum extracted from the seeds of cluster beans has hypocholestemic effect. Legumes, vegetables and fruits lower the level of serum cholesterol, but the effect is usually meager compared with well-known effect on HDL and serum triglycerides. Studies showed that the blood pressure can be reduced by using fiber-rich diet. Fiber also reduces serum fibrinogen level, which in turn lower the risk of blood thrombosis, myocardial infarction. Oats product contain high level of beta-glucan content, which has hypocholestemic effect. One of the postulates was that the cholesterol synthesis is inhibited by acetic, propionic and butyric acid generated by colon bacteria and concurrent clearance of LDL cholesterol. Fenugreek seed contain 20% of mucilaginous fiber and 50% of total fiber. Incorporation of fiber in the diet brings about reduction in serum cholesterol by preventing its absorption. 75% of total energy from fat, 59% from carbohydrate and 55% from dietary fiber produce 2500 kilocalorie of energy and produce most favorable lipid profile for optimum health status and prevents the occurrence of coronary heart disease. Next one is cancer. High carbohydrate diet includes plenty of plant origin foods, especially green and yellow vegetables and citrus fruits, protect against some type of cancer. Again, it is unclear whether the protection is derived from the fiber, the vitamins or phytochemical. People consuming high dietary fiber diets generally have lower rates of colon cancer than similar population consuming low fiber diet. Many, but not all, research studies also suggest that the increasing dietary fiber protects against colon cancer. Alternatively, the protective effect may be due to fermentation of resistant starch and fiber in the colon, which lowers pH. A lower pH in colon is associated with decreased colon cancer risk. Still, another explanation is that the phytochemicals in dietary fiber defends the cell against cancer-causing damage. Several mechanisms are proposed to have the protect action of dietary fiber against colon cancer. The fiber dilutes bile acid and bind with it, thereby preventing the role of bile in mutation or cell proliferation. The fermentation of dietary fiber produces short-chain fatty acid and lowering intestinal pH. This inhibits the conversion of primary bile acid to secondary bile acid. The secondary bile acids are believed to promote mutation in intestine. At low pH, the solubility of free bile acid is reduced and diminishing the availability for carcinogenic activity. Dietary fiber exerts its beneficial effect by speeding the passage of feces through large intestine so that carcinogens are in contact with the intestinal wall for much shorter period of time. Additionally, the bulk and water of feces dilute the carcinogens to a non-toxic level. Like that, number of mechanisms are involved to prevent the occurrence of colon cancer. Many human studies find that the consumption of fructo-oligosaccharides increase the beneficial bacteria in the gut while decreasing the concentration of potentially harmful E. coli, Cholesteria and Bacteroides. These agents have both complementary and overlapping mechanism of action, including the induction of detoxification of enzyme, inhibition of nitrosamine formation, provision of substance for formation of anti-nephroplastic agents, dilution and binding of carcinogens in the digestive tract, alteration in hormone metabolism and antioxidant effect. It appears extremely unlikely that any one substance is responsible for all association noticed. Second one, diabetic mellitus. People eating high dietary fiber diet often have lower rates of diabetics, much likely because such diets are low in fat. High fiber diet, low fat diet help to control weight, and this is the most effective way to prevent the most common type of diabetic, that is type 2 diabetic mellitus. Furthermore, when soluble fiber trap the nutrients and delay their transit through GIT, glucose absorption is slowed, and this helps to prevent the glucose usage and rebound that seems to be associated with diabetic onset. High fiber foods play a key role in reducing the risk of diabetic. Dietary fiber benefits type 1 and type 2 diabetic. Such diet lower insulin requirement, increase peripheral tissue insulin sensitivity, decrease serum cholesterol and triglyceride values, and also in weight control and lower blood pressure. Soluble fibers like pectin, gums, hemicellulose increase intestinal transit time, delays gastric emptying, slow glucose absorption and lower serum cholesterol. 20 to 30 gram of soluble dietary fiber should be taken daily. Insoluble fiber like cellulose, lignins, that is from vegetables and grains, decrease intestinal transit time, increase fecal bulk, delay glucose absorption and lower serum cholesterol. Diet rich in complex carbohydrates and dietary fiber improve glucose metabolism without increasing insulin secretion. They lower fasting serum and peripheral insulin concentration in response to oral glucose administration in both diabetic and non-diabetic person. High fiber diet helps to promote body weight loss. They increase satiety, delay gastric emptying by releasing certain gut hormones, starch, fatty substance and nitrogen from high fiber food may be less well absorbed. Also, high fiber diet usually take longer time to eat. Fenugreek seeds contain high fiber which is useful to diabetic. In addition, it also contains trigonelline, an alkaloid known to reduce blood sugar level. The quantity of fenugreek seed to be consumed daily depends upon the severity of diabetic condition. Usually, the dose varies from 25 to 50 grams daily. The seeds can be taken as such after overnight soaking in water or in powder form as a drink in water or in buttermilk 15 minutes before the meal. To start with 25 grams of fenugreek seeds may be taken in 2 equal doses of 12.5 grams each along with the meal. The fenugreek seed powder can be incorporated in preparations such as chapati, rice, dal and vegetable preparation. It has been observed that the requirement of anti-diabetic drug decreases with the use of fenugreek seeds. Next one is gastrointestinal disorder. Dietary fiber enhance the health of large intestine. Healthier the intestinal wall, better the absorption of nutrients. Insoluble fibers such as cellulose, as in cereal bran, vegetables and fruits enlarge the bulk of fecal matter, causing the passage and speed up transit time, and gums are highly fermented by colonic bacteria. In this way, undigested fiber together with microbial growth, they stimulate to help to avoid or prevent constipation. Take ample amount of fiber with fluid help to prevent several gastrointestinal disorder. The large soft stool is elimination for the rectal muscle and reduce the pressure in lower bowel, making it less likely that the rectal veins swell. Fiber prevents compression of intestinal content which could obstruct appendix or permit bacteria to invade and infect it. In addition, fiber stimulate the gastrointestinal muscles so that they retain their strength and resist bulging out into the pouch like known as a diverticulo. The movement of the content, though the colon is stimulated in part by the presence of residue in lumen. When chronic inadequate bulk characteristics of low fiber diet occur in the colon responds with a stronger contraction to propel the smaller mass distally. This chronic inadequacy increased force leads to the creation of diverticulo, which are a herniation of the mucosa layer through weak region in the colon musculature. Adequate intake of dietary fiber may prevent the formation of diverticulo by providing bulk in the colon, so that less forcible contraction are needed to propel it. The composition and health colonic microflora affect the fermentation of carbohydrates. Antibiotic treatment may alter the colonic bacteria, reducing fermentation and causing diarrhea. Individuals with inflammatory bowel disease may experience exudative diarrhea when nutrient absorption is diminished, which adds to increased osmotic load from the presence of mucus, blood and protein from an inflamed gastrointestinal tract. Dietary fiber intake may improve the symptoms of patients with inflammatory bowel disease. The harmful effect of excessive fiber intake. Despite the fiber benefits to health, a diet high in fiber also has certain harmful effect. A person who has small capacity and eat mostly high fiber food may not be able to take in enough food calorie or energy or other nutrients. The malnourished, the elderly and children adhere to all plant diet are especially the vulnerable to this problem. Launching suddenly into a high fiber diet can cause temporary bouts of abdominal discomfort, gas production and diarrhea, and are seriously obstruct gastrointestinal tract. To prevent such complication, a person adopting high fiber diet is advised to increase fiber intake gradually over several days to give the gastrointestinal time to adapt. Drink lot of fluid to soften the fiber as it moves through gastrointestinal tract. Select fiber-rich foods from a variety of sources like fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grain bread and cereals. Insoluble fiber can limit the absorption of some nutrients by speeding the transit of food through gastrointestinal tract and by binding to minerals when mineral intake is adequate. However, a reasonable intake of high fiber food do not seem to be comprise mineral balance. By conclusion, an adequate fiber intake fosters weight control, lowers blood cholesterol, prevents colon cancer and also prevents and controls diabetic. Next one, elevates the hemorrhoids and prevents appendicitis and also diverticulosis. An excessive intake of fiber displays energy and other nutrient dense food, causes intestinal discomfort and distension, interfere with mineral absorption. To increase fiber intake, some of the foods to be taken, that is, eat whole grain cereals that contain equal or greater than 5 gram fiber per serving for breakfast. Eat raw vegetables and fruits. Eat fruits and vegetables with their skins. Add legumes to soups and salads. Eat fresh and dry fruits for snacks.